this occupational, even the personal adjustment also. So these are all the these adjustmental problems they will face when they are anxious. Got it? So here in this particular situation of the any individual, so they need counseling or counseling strategies are needed to address the issues, various issues of related to the particular cases. So here in this particular issues, how to counsel the this type of individuals, that is a major task. It's the toughest task. It's not so easy to improve the coping strategies of these individuals. What happens if they are not in a position to understand their issues? So they need some sort of counseling from the experts, or you can say from the professionals. So they'll excessively worrying, then irritability. So they irritable with family and friends, losing temper easily, unable to concentrate. So due to these issues, it is forgetfulness. Like sometimes that is psychological features, not only psychological features, some features of somatic features, like palpitations, okay, a sensation of inability, okay, then muscular tensions. So in this anxiety, maybe some symptoms like anxiety is a natural reaction to stressful situation, and in some cases it occurs without any apparent, without any reason. Okay, so in this symptoms of anxiety, maybe these psychological symptoms, some features or some symptoms related to the somatic, or some are the behavioral issues, like not mingling with other members in the group. Okay, detached type of behavior. Okay, so if you observe this type of symptoms, if it is anxiety, there are some even tools also. If you want to, that means with the help of any psychological professional, if you want to administer any test, or if you want to use any tools, one tool is that Hamilton tool of anxiety. Hamilton, Hamilton, Hamilton test of anxiety. So here, this is one important tool of administering the anxiety. If you want to understand the anxiety, there is a test of anxiety that is known as a Hamilton test of anxiety. Same way for depression also, there is a test that is Hamilton test of depression. Okay, so first we will discuss about this anxiety. In anxiety, we have some classifications. Okay, that is specific anxiety disorder, like specific phobia, you can say. Second is another is the social phobia. Third is the OCD, obsessive compulsory disorder. Fourth one is the PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. Next one is the acute stress disorder. Then generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, you can say. Okay, anxiety due to some general medical conditions. Then in some cases, substance-induced anxiety disorder due to the use of substance, like any drug or any other substance, due to the excessive use of this type of substances. Anxiety is the anxiety is one root cause of these reasons. Okay, so substance-induced anxiety disorder, not otherwise specified. So in any sort of anxiety, if you find out the symptoms of this particular anxiety, so better to give proper this counseling. So as we know, any sort of counseling, any sort of issue, better to find out the reasons of, or you can say causes of this issue. So in some cases, the symptoms of anxiety-related problems are caused by accumulation of some sort of anxiety and depression can be in families due to the family issues, maybe some issues related to the job, some issues related to the medical. What are the reasons maybe? So first of all, we have to find out the type of these, that is, as I mentioned, general anxiety or any specific anxiety or any anxiety related to the OCD or post-traumatic PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So after finding the reason or after finding the type of this anxiety, better to go for proper these counseling methods. Then same way, even for depression also. Depression also we have some this DSM-4 this classification of depression or anxiety. Based on the classification of this anxiety, that is depression. So here there are some symptoms of depression as sleeplessness, like low productivity, and is not maintaining proper hygienic conditions. Okay, so maybe if it is high risk of major depression, this leads to some type of these suicidal tendencies. Okay, so first of all, it may be the anxiety or it may be the depression. Better to find out the reasons or root causes of the both, like anxiety as well as the depression. In some cases, depression may be in adolescent, depression may be in even adults also. Some cases, depression in nowadays, even we are seeing the depressive symptoms even the children also. Okay, so what are the age of this particular this anxiety or depression? Better to go for the, if for the anxiety or depression is related to their that is this understanding, means if they are not understanding the situation properly, so better to go for the CBT, like cognitive behavior therapy. And if the problem is related to their interpersonal relations, interpersonal psychotherapy is needed here. Then if the problem is with their medical reasons, medical related reasons, better to take the help of the medical professionals, and pharmacotherapy can be given to this particular cases of anxiety or depression. So in some cases, depression in adults and depression in older adults also. So if such are cases, if there is any issue related to their adjustmental problem, so we need to go to the detailed history of their adjustmental issues. What are the reasons of this issue? Okay, so we need to develop the psychological, behavioral, as well as the pharmacological techniques related to the this anxiety or even depression also. Yeah. So in these cases, for example, if this problem is related to their adjustmental issues or any misunderstandings with their family members, siblings, or any issue related to their occupational issues, occupational adjustmental issues. So better to go for the cognitive restructuring technique, CRT. In CBT, as I mentioned in previous class also, CBT is the one important technique we use in these cases. So in particular, if the problem is with related to their this job place, workplace, can say. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Yes. So better to check the workplace, how the these colleagues in the workplace. So if there is any misunderstanding of their roles, okay, in that cases, so cognitive restructuring, like better to restructuring their understanding, better to restructuring their thought process, better to restructuring their various these these understanding capabilities related to their job or related to their relations in the workplace. Okay, as we know, restructuring of thoughts, restructuring of their understanding capability, cognitive recognition means thought process. In this thought process, if you find any need of restructuring of their ideas, restructuring of their thoughts, the way they think, if it is not up to the mark, if the way they think is not related to their age, or you can say maybe role of their job role. Okay, so in that case, if you find any issues, so better to have proper understanding, better to improve proper understanding, better to develop their understanding in a systematic way. That is one thing you can give in this particular counseling. And the second one is that due to their misunderstanding, they will have some sort of negative impact on their understanding. So here you can use ABC model. ABC model means so activated event, then belief system, then consequences. So if the issues related to their belief system, better to change their belief system. So they are not believing in a positive way. Due to their negative belief systems, they're not understanding their issue properly. So their activated event, for example, if they believe that other colleague or other boss, maybe the hierarchy of in that particular workplace, wantedly the boss or the team leaders of the particular team harassing this employee. That is the belief system with this employee. He believed that his belief is that wantedly, intentionally, somebody is harassing, somebody is giving some extra work in that particular workplace. So in that case, whether the belief system, whether it's correct or not, by giving an appropriate counseling, so you can understand it is. So here, in this, what happens only with this wrong belief system? So entire this environment of the workplace, the entire environment may be workplace, it may be their home environment. Okay, so he or she may not be in a position to mingle with other members in that particular group. That group may be home environment, that group may be in the workplace environment. So if it is such the cases, we need to show the consequences of their wrong belief system, or you can say negative belief system. As I mentioned, ABC model. So due to their, based on their wrong belief system, negative belief system, then negative activated event. So activated event, what is activated event here? So they are not mingling with other members in the group. Okay, so we have to show, we have to explain, we have to deal with the consequences that are arising based on their negative belief system. So we have to show the consequences. These are the consequences they are supposed to face, they need to face, they have to face in their future course of. So if they believe in a proper way, if their belief system, they will modify their belief system. If this from modification from the wrong belief system to the negative positive belief system. So their activities will be in a positive side. So automatically the consequences will be positive. So these things we can explain in the ABC model. So the reason of their stress, the reason of their depression, the reason of their anxiety, if we analyze, this is the reason their belief system is not in a systematic or repository. So better to give proper counseling to change their belief system. Okay. So if they change their belief system, definitely consequences will be in it. That is one type of case. In some cases, as I mentioned, due to their substance use, depression or anxiety, the reasons of depression or anxiety, if the reason, one of the reasons of this anxiety and depression is their substance use. So here also, this ABC model we can use. In some cases, they use heavy drugs. Some individuals, they use some sort of substances like alcohol, cigarettes. Their belief system is like that. By using this, by taking this some 10 to 15 cigarettes per day, they'll have some relaxation in their workplace, maybe in their other areas. So they wrongly believe that by using, by consuming some sort of substance, they'll have relaxation. So in order to reduce their stressful condition, stressful situation, they will start taking this type of substances or any like cigarettes or things. So we need to explain them instead of taking this.
Can I intervene, sir?
Yeah, yes.
So this sort of thing, a counselor to find out what technique to be used. Like, there is one earlier classes you taught, systemic desensitization, in which
Yeah.
extinction method also is there. Now
Yeah,
you
yeah.
also taught ABC model also. Now
Yeah,
for anything, how a counselor decides what to be used?
yeah, exactly. Yes. Very good question. See here, systematic desensitization is when the counselor finds any sort of issue related to the anxiety or phobic condition. Desensitizing, systematic desensitization, first desensitization, systematic desensitization. This systematic desensitization generally we use to reduce their anxiety, especially in the children. Okay, that is one. So here, if you find any problem of their understanding, so cognitive restructuring the way they think, the way they are analyzing the situation or the incident or the problem or the issue. In that case, restructuring their understanding, or you can say restructuring of their cognition, that is CRT, cognitive restructuring technique. Another thing is, for example, see, not only one technique, we need to use multiple techniques in only one case. If the issue is maybe, for example, here in the case of substance use or anything like, so here if they think this is only the solution of their stress, it's only the that is substance which they use in the so and so cases, they'll have some sort of relaxation. That if they believe that, or if they understand that, better to go for the CRT. Or also we have to see the ABC model. So we have to show the consequences by understanding this type of negative understanding, by understanding negatively. So sometimes one technique, maybe some 2 or 3 techniques also we need to. So that is the responsibility of the counselor, by understanding the subject properly, by understanding the various techniques to be used in different cases. So the counselor, that is his, at least you can say that that is his understanding, his analyzation of the client properly, so that he can use the correct method or correct technique to resolve the issue. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Systematic desensitization. If it is the issue related to the emotions, So here REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy. REBT is to resolve the issue related to the emotions, rational emotive behavior technique or therapy, REBT. So CRT, REBT, systematic design inspiration, ABC model, and if the issue related to the OCD, obsessive compulsory disorder, obsessive compulsive. Here I already given some section like ERP, exposed response prevention technique, exposed response prevention technique. In this exposure response prevention technique, so expose them. For example, repeated hand washing is the that is compulsory activities. Compulsions are based on the obsessive thoughts. Obsessions. OCD is obsessive compulsory disorder. These compulsory activities of hand washing or this repeated checking of the logs is all activities of compulsory or compulsion activities are based on the obsessive thought. So if you find the obsessive thought behind that particular activity, that is our responsibility to find out what actual obsessive thought. For example, some dust particles are there on their hands or their body. That is the reason they use their activities like hand washing repeatedly. So here, in exposure response prevention, expose them to the situation, the same situation where they feel anxious. Initially, if we keep them in the same environment of like that area for 5 minutes, the anxiety will be high. Within the same time, if we keep them in the same environment, expose them to the same environment where they'll get anxiety for some minutes. Initially, the first minute within the 5 minutes, first minute of 5 minutes, their anxiety will be high. After some 2 minutes, after some 3 minutes, the anxiety will be slowly reduced in the first session. The same way, if they expose it to the same situation, the second session or second day, the anxiety will be slowly come down, or you can say reduce. So expose them. So what are the response by exposing to the situation? So preventing the response. That is the reason ERP, exposed response prevention technique. So this technique is to reduce the anxiety and to improve the relaxation. Okay. So is also one technique of counseling. So any technique of counseling, stage wise, for example, initially after establishing of the rapport, so we need to analyze the situation by discussing with the client.
Yeah. All sort of like REBT or ERPT, everywhere there is one thing has been seen that relaxation technique is followed by it. Is it mandatory?
Without technique, how can we give a counseling?
No, I'm talking relaxation. Like you have exposed the client to the situation, but after that, again you follow the relaxation technique. Everywhere,
Yeah,
in all sort of techniques, it is relaxation is always there after doing the.
Yeah, relaxation is always there.
Okay, that's what, because without relaxation, the technique will not be complete.
Yeah. Based on the age of the person, based on their various issues, of course, relaxation is after resolving the issue, after addressing the issue, automatically they have some sort of relaxation.
Okay.
This stress level, the anxiety will be reduced. Of course, relaxation will be possible in all cases almost.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
In exposed therapy, you are saying that the patient will be exposed to the situation. how their
Yeah.
anxiety will get reduced when they are exposed. They will be made to practice the same thing, or their cognitive thinking will be changed by talking on their belief system. I'm not
Mhm.
clear on this.
Yeah, yes, yes. See, for example, the dirty is the obsessive thought.
Okay.
Okay, dirty particles in the particular area. That is the reason they won't enter the place. If they enter into the particular place, got it?
Okay. Okay.
Their anxiety, got it? ERP expose the client, expose the subject to the same situation in which they are having. They will have high levels of anxiety. Increase, take them to the particular area or the place. Immediately after entering into the place, their anxiety will be around 10 points. Let us say it is 10 points. In the first minute, in the moment they enter into the particular area, their anxiety level is around some 10 points. Okay, let us say 10 points. So first minute is 10 points. If they expose it to the same situation for next minute, third minute, fourth minute, fifth minute, the same level of anxiety will be maintaining.
Okay.
It will maintain. No?
Okay. Then how it will reduce, sir?
That's what
Is
I'm
there
telling. Please try to understand. So that the same anxiety of 10 points won't be maintained.
Okay.
After some 3 or 4 minutes, the anxiety levels will be slowly
Reduce.
Increased, sir.
exactly. Got it?
Okay, sir.
So that is for one session. So in the
Okay.
same way, we need to ask them, so what happens when you enter into the place?
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
some sort of relaxation techniques also, in order to reduce the anxiety, we need to ask them to practice the same situation. Try to understand they are there in the same situation, the
Okay.
same
Okay.
environment.
Okay.
Got it? That is for the first session, like first day. Morning,
Okay.
it is some 15 or 20 minutes. Then evening, around 15 to 20 minutes or half an hour. Then after some 2 days and 3 days, the same thing is continuing. What happens? Initially, in the first day, when they enter into the same environment, what happens? The anxiety level will be like 10 points. But slowly, after some 3-4 minutes, that will be reduced to the 7 points or 8 points.
Okay.
Okay? But when they reach the same place and exposure to the same place, initially 10 points. No? After
Okay.
3 days, the 10 points may be reduced to the 7 points or 6 points initially. Then after some half an hour time, that will come down maybe to the 3 points or 4 points.
We don't need to work on the belief system.
Here, belief system is not required. Only ERP, exposure response prevention.
Okay. On their own, they
Got
have
it?
to work on their anxiety.
We have to be there
Okay.
on their own, as a therapist, as a psychologist, as a counselor, or some caregivers are. So we need to train the caregivers and the family members.
Okay. When they are continuously exposed to the same situation, slowly the anxiety level will get reduced.
Yeah, yes. Got it?
Okay. Again, they won't go back to the original phase.
No, they won't go back.
Okay.
For example, one example I give you. If they are, their anxiety will be high. Okay? First, when we discuss about the dirt particles, not even showing any dirty areas. When we are talking about the dirty, when you are talking about the dirt particles,
Okay.
okay? Just by discussing that about their dirty,
Okay.
in that case also their anxiety will be increased initially. Just we are talking about their problem with that is dirty.
Okay.
Initially we will discuss with them. We'll talk about the dirty particles, bacterial things, everything. Okay?
And what about the people who continuously check the locks and all?
That's what I'm saying. Same case. The same technique to be applied even for last.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Another topic related to this is counseling is adolescents. Adolescents. Adolescent issues. How to uh, uh, improve the coping strategies in this adolescent children, adolescent people. As we know, adolescent is the age which having their stress and strain is more in this particular age of adolescent because their stress related to the physical changes and some changes related to their psychological conditions like as we know the adolescent is between the age of 12 to some 18 or 19 years. Okay, so in this all ages like 12 to 18 years, their physical changes, rapid physical changes, and changes related to their psychological conditions like they studies and some other these changes related to the emotions, emotionally disturbed state, emotionally imbalanced state, emotionally unstable state. Okay, so in this adolescent state, one is rapid physical growth, second is psychological development reaches its maximum. Okay, so then emotional imbalancing state, emotional stability, and some issues related to the social adjustment. Okay, so these are all the various issues related to the these adolescent children or adolescent people. Okay, so in these particular cases, again the same thing. So we have to understand the actual issue related to their this problem. Okay, first of all, any sort of psychological problem, as I repeatedly telling you, so better to go for the reasons to find out what are the reasons of this particular issue. And reasons, for example, reasons may be related to the environment, reasons may be related to the family, school or colleges, or reasons may be related to their own physiological or psychological. So after having proper understanding about the reasons, then so how you find out the reasons of this particular issue means, so listening skills, as I mentioned, the more we listen, the more we can understand the client or the patient. The more we listen, the more we can assess the person or individual. So assessment is important. By listening, by observing, it is easy to assess. So this one type of assessment, observation, listening. Okay. Then if you have any issue related to the, or you can say reason related to their understanding capabilities, or you can say study related issues. So there we have to go for the different technique. Okay, and if the issues related to their family environment, better to give the counseling not only to the child, even with the parents or siblings or the family members of the individual also. Okay, so here listening skills, one important thing. Second is the empathetical understanding. Empathetical understanding means we need to understanding various problems related to this particular adolescent stage. Their physiological issues, changes, or you can say their issues related to the studies. Maybe after entering into this particular age, like 12 years or 13 years, initially, previously, if the child is performance, the child's performance is good in the previous classes. Only from this particular 8th class or 9th class, if the performance is not up to the mark, if that is the case, if that is the issue in this particular patient or the case or this student, so you need to find out the reason. What are the reasons of this issue? His performance was good up to the 7th class or 8th class. Only in this particular, after admitting this particular class, so the performance is not marked. Whether it is related to the personal issues, if there is related to the school environment issue, maybe methodology of the teachers or the school, if the changes of any school, or if the problem is related to their family due to their financial aspects, due to their issue related to the parents, siblings. So these are the various dimensions, various areas we need to go in detail. In some cases, the problem or the reasons of the problem may be related to their curriculum, or the reasons of the problem may be related to the weightage of that particular subject or hardship of the particular subject. For example, after entering into the 8th class or like 9th class, the new topics in mathematics, like related to the algebra, geometrical concepts. So some students, because they may not be in a position to understand the new concepts in particular mathematics or physics. So these are the various dimensions, various these areas of the issue we better to study properly. So by the listening properly, by thorough listening or showing empathetical understanding of the child or the adolescent, we can find out the root cause, or you can say reasons or causes of the issue. So this is all we need to complete within the 3 or 4 sessions. First of all, rapport establishment, or the counseling related to the family members, counseling related to their siblings, so that you will find out the reasons or the causes of this issue. So that actual counseling, you can say Egan's model starting stage, or you can say stage 1. Rapport establishment, then understanding the patient properly. You can say understanding empathetically. So completion of this first stage or initial stage. So the next one is the second stage, actual solution. That means, so what are the various techniques we have to apply in this case? That is the second stage. In second stage, at least 3 to 4 sessions we need to give, or we need to counsel the patients. Within these 3-4 sessions, if the problem is resolved only with the child, otherwise better to involve the other members like family members or the school teachers, or if it is possible, even the siblings or the classmates. Okay, so here in this stage 2, so actual stage of resolving the problem, or you can see here only we need to use various techniques. Yeah, in some cases, if the problem is within the child only, because though up to the 6th level or 5th level or 7th level, he or she is performing better, and after that, in this particular age, or it may be stage, or it may be class, so her or his performance may be not up to the mark. So better to involve the teachers also. The method of teaching, or there is any repeated changing of schools or repeated changing of teachers, or there is any problem related to the administration, means supervising of HOD or supervising of head of the institution, or principal or HMs are not proper. So these things if you find, so better to involve the teachers or any other personnel related to the particular issue. So this is one type of example. Another example is like that some cases up to the primary level, the or you can say third or fourth level, the child's performance is good. After that, so he is or she is not performing better. So if in this case, though the other environment like environmental factors like school environment, family environment, or this neighborhood environment, peer group environment, everything is going in a smooth way or perfect, even though the child is not performing properly. So here we better to go for the IQ test. So IQ test means, so if there is any problem related to their intellectual capabilities, if the intelligence is not up to the mark, intellectual capabilities are not proper. If we have that understanding after some PR courses, if we have after listening the child or the families or the other these persons, still if you have any doubt related to their mental abilities, in that case, better to go for the IQ test. Okay. Yeah. So as I mentioned, the techniques are one aspect. What are the techniques we apply in so on so cases? And there are some tools also we can use, like tests. Example, IQ test. Okay. And in some cases, these children or adolescent people or students studying in various courses, maybe academic courses or any other professional courses. If their performance is good in the previous courses, like for example, intermediate is the academic course, engineering is the professional course. In some cases, if you find that type of situation, the type of cases, their academic performance is good up to the intermediate level. After entering into the BCom or any other professional course like engineering or any other courses of profession like medicine. So here, why what are the reasons that their interest is decreased? They are not performing properly. So here one tool you can use, that is, as I mentioned previous class, so CIS, comprehensive interest criteria. Or if the problem with their abilities, DBDA, David's battery of different abilities. So in these adolescent cases, so is a multiple issues you can find. So whether it is issue related to the physical aspects, psychological aspects, emotional things, and the problem related to their studies.
So can you repeat the name of the tests again?
Okay, one is IQ test, IQ, intelligence quotient test, IQ, intelligence quotient test. We have various intelligence tests, nearly we have 7 to 8 IQ tests. The IQ test which you choose to administer depends on the various factors like their age, their level of understanding, whether they perform. See, in ID, as you have already first year, we have some these practical classes. You attended some practical classes. So there are some paper pencil tests. There are some performance tests. Whether the test to be used as a performance test or the paper pencil test. So it depends on the case. It depends on the child. It depends on the individual. Like a BKT. BKT is a performance test. Okay. So BKT is the performance as well as the pair pencil test. So both are included in that particular test. BKT, Binet Comet Test of Intelligence. Binet Comet, BINET, KAMET, Binet Comet Test of Intelligence. That is one. Another is Malin's Test of Intelligence. MALINS, Malin's Test of. These both are the pair pencil as well as the performance test.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
If this learning disability is associated with some other disorder like ADHD, how we need to work two things at the same time?
Okay. So learning disabilities, you are talking about the learning disability linked with ADHD.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Learning disability due to the ADHD you are talking about. Learning disability with ADHD.
ADHD.
ADHD you are talking.
Yes, sir.
Attention deficiency hyperactive disorder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Learning disability specific SLDs are there. We have one test SLD.
Okay.
One tool. Specific learning disability.
Okay.
By administering this test, by using this test, this tool, so which area he is lacking, she is lacking.
Okay.
Okay, the reason, for example, if it is a dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, you know, there are some
Yeah, they are
learning
many.
disabilities. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So if it is only the reason is ADHD is the only reason, so we need to address the issues related to the ADHD symptoms.
Okay.
So we need to develop the attention, that is sitting tolerance.
Okay.
In order to reduce the restlessness, ADHD is attention deficiency, you know.
Yeah, ma'am. But
Attention deficiency.
number of things will be associated with ADHD, you know, that attention deficit and poor management things.
Number of?
Many things will be associated with ADHD. It's not just one problem that they have an attention problem, but they will have behavioral problems also. How we can work on so many things at the same time, like behavioral problems, poor management, time management skills, and this aggressiveness. These many issues will be associated with the learning disability. Then it will be difficult to handle so many things at the same
You
time.
are talking about a specific case or in general you are talking?
I'm talking some specific case. I have seen it. So
Can you please give the particular age of the child? Age is so important. Age important.
adolescent, sir, it is 12 years age.
12 years of age. So, okay, 12 years of age. First of all, see, if this is a case of 12 years, first of all, we have to understand the adolescent stage, various these developmental issues related to the adolescent.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
Okay.
here if the case is with the ADHD, is it recent case of ADHD or since so long? That
It's
is
a
also
long, it is working, keep on working on it, but due to adolescent, it's becoming difficult to handle now.
okay. So here, so first of all, as you are talking about the multiple issues, so one issue you have to take first.
Okay.
For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like for example, I'm just giving one example. So tantrums, one
Yeah.
issue.
Yes.
Then, for example, it is hitting others.
Yes, sir.
That is not sit at one place. 3.
Yes, sir.
In this case, fourth one is self-injurious behavior. Got it?
Yes,
we
sir.
need to address the first one. The priority to be given to the self-injurious behavior.
Okay, sir.
Got it? Hitting others.
Yes, sir.
So that to be given the preference. That's what.
Okay, sir.
So
Yeah.
you have to list out the issues.
Okay, sir.
In that particular list of 4 or 5 issues, so which issue to be given priority?
Okay, sir.
Preference
At a
to be
time, we
given.
have to deal with one issue.
No. At a time, yes, exactly. But at a time, only one.
Yes, sir.
You can't handle all. I can't resolve all the issues at a time.
Okay, sir.
Got it? After that, go to for the second one.
Okay, sir.
And in this behavior modification program is the one that is taking that BT or behavior modification program,
Okay, sir.
BMP or
Okay, sir.
BMT.
Okay, sir.
Behavior modification, how to modify the behavior. For example, so that is analysis we have to do. For example, this type of behavior,
Okay, sir.
whether he or she is showing that type of behavior only with the family members. Some cases, what happens if they go outside, they will show these same symptoms only in outside places,
Okay.
with outsiders, not the family member.
Okay.
the family member, they are calm and good, but whereas in the school environment or any other environment, their behavior will be somehow problematic, abnormal behavior. These are all issues, generalization of all these issues.
Okay. How to correct the learning disability in these kids with these problems?
First of all, we have to address the behavioral issues. You are talking about the behavior along with the learning disability.
Yes, sir.
If this is ADHD is the behavior of the child is influencing or negative influencing on the learning disabilities. So
Okay.
if you address this issue, if you resolve this issue,
Okay, sir.
you can find some solution with learning this.
Okay, sir. Their poor skills or vocabulary, they don't understand the things. That is also will be there, no, sir.
That's what. If the issue is depending on the ADHD, first of all, we have to solve the issues related to the ADHD.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If the problem is with the mathematical concept, for example,
Okay, sir.
you know that in special education cases, you know the special children,
Okay, sir.
we know that there are different type of education systems like normal education, special education, and inclusive education.
Okay,
If
sir.
this particular 12 years age child is not in a position to mingle with the children in the classroom, better to provide the inclusive education or the special education.
Okay, sir.
But again, we need to go for the this IQ assessment. Though his age is 12 years, but his understanding capacity, what are the instructions given by the parents or the teachers or the therapists, whether he or she is able to understand or not.
Yes, sir.
How we assess?
Okay, sir.
By using some tests, that tool.
Okay.
Though his age is 12 years, some children, due to their these IQ levels or low IQ levels, they may not be in a position to understand what are the instructions given by the teachers or parents or other persons because of their level of understanding not up to the mark.
But the IQ levels are average, sir, but he shows some kind of reluctance. Maybe because of
That's what.
the...
If
Yeah.
the IQ levels are normal, what are the actual IQ levels? Whether it's normal means whether it is 90 or below normal or normal. As we know, below 90 is the normal, 90 is the average. If it is below 90 and above 70 is that is below average. I can say borderline. If it is below 70 and above 50 is the mild. Okay. So by using some test, if you have that particular these IQ levels, if you have that IQ levels are normal, so you need to keep in mind that IQ levels are normal. Only with the behavioral issues we need to address.
Okay, sir.
Got
Need
it?
to work on the behavioral issues, then the learning a disability, we can easily work on it. If you work on
That is if the case is normal. You are talking about the normal IQ level. In that
yeah,
case,
no.
better to go for the other areas like ADHD. In some cases, what happens after admission IQ, for example, if it is below normal, for example, around 70 or 75, means though their age is 12 years, but their understanding capacity is around 9 years. But
Okay.
their mental age is, chronological age is 12 years, but their mental abilities, or you can say mental age is around 9 or 10 years. So
9.
here in particular cases, what to do? You have to go to that level by giving instructions.
Okay.
The instructions which you have to give to the 9 years child. So in that level, you have to go to the level, to the extent you have to go. Then only you can understand the instructions. Yes, you can understand.
Okay. We need to go for special education for these kids, sir.
For example, in that particular case, special education, as I mentioned, based on the understanding capacity, madam.
Okay.
Based on their understanding capacity, mental abilities.
Okay, sir.
For example, if the mental ability is below average, near to normal, below average, you no need of going for the special education. Inclusive education you can give some sort of remedial teaching.
Okay. How they can come to the normal stream of education when they, how long they will be in special education?
Special education, that's what I'm telling. Special education, if needed, so they will be, for some years, they will be in the special education.
Okay, sir.
For example, in inclusive education, like for if it is a problem of mild or it is nearby, that is near to normal, better to go for the inclusive education. They will be there in the same class, but only some few hours we need to alert, like the weekends or after completion of the schooling hours. The
Okay.
inclusive teachers are there in some schools now. So these
Okay, sir.
teachers, so they need to give some special methods of their instructions. Method of instruction should be changed
Okay, sir.
by providing some special methods to these children. So they will improve after showing some improvement. So better to include in the normal class.
Yeah, yeah. As the difficulty level goes up in the education, they will be able to adjust, sir, then?
Why not? Why not? Why definitely the election.
Okay.
Based on totally see any case, whether the child or an individual or any other psychological cases, whether the improvement is there or not.
Okay,
So
sir.
it depends on only two factors. One is how the instructions are given, how the therapy process is given by the therapist or psychologist. Number one. Number two is that how the instructions are followed or implemented by the family members, caregivers, or the particular patient or individual.
Okay.
Based on these
Again,
two
we need to
factors.
check their IQ levels after working on them. We need to check their IQ
Yeah,
levels.
yes, up to some 6 months or 1 year. Minimum of 6 months are needed to check
Okay.
that. For example, the IQ check after some 6 months gap, minimum of 6 months or 1 year. In some
Okay.
cases, if you have this confidence that definitely there is improvement in their IQ level, you can go for IQ test after 6 months also.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
So that's it for today's class. Tomorrow, rest of the complete topics will come tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.